Hello and welcome. I'm Gargi Rawat. You're watching me on youtube.com/NDTV. That's the site to go to for all your videos and all our shows. Now, every day we ask you about the top stories and what stories you want to know more about. We offer you the pick of the day of the stories. And today it is the story about the Jamia student. 3 Jamia protesters have bullet wounds, say doctors. So that is the big story that we're still trying to get to the bottom of, because the police have denied firing any bullets. The Home Ministry has as well, though now some news is emerging that the police claim that during the clashes that took place on Sunday, when Jamia students were protesting and on a march, and then suddenly it all turned very violent and the police cracked down on them, that there were bullets fired, and perhaps from the student side or from criminals who may have infiltrated. So we're still waiting for more clarity on that. Delhi police has denied firing at protesters. Harvard students write a letter to the government. It's an open letter on Jamia and AMU, talking about the crackdown on students at both these universities, at Aligarh Muslim University as well as the Jamia Millia Islamia, and talk about the right of students to protest and raise their voice and dissent, and that it actually strengthens democracy. So you mustn't crack down. Internet is back in Assam, but not in Meghalaya. That's the other big story today. Though there is a protest carrying on by the student association in Guwahati, and it's a peaceful sit-in protest, so that is carrying on. Bengal has stopped work on the National Population Register, and this work was to begin by next year. And it's being seen as a precursor to the National Citizens List or Register program. And that, of course, is the big fear among Muslims, that once the CAA is passed, the Citizenship Amendment Act, and after that, when they do the NRC exercise, that is when they fear Muslims could be targeted for not having documents in which you'll have to prove your citizenship, how many generations back it can go, because we've had the experience of Assam where it was quite a tense affair, and people died also in the entire process. It was harassment of a lot of poor people having to prove their citizenship. And now, if the government takes this across the country, of course, that's a whole difficult, exercise it's going to be. But Bengal trying to stop it already in its tracks by stopping work on the National Population Register, which may then lead to the NRC exercise. So let's just take you through the top stories right now. The Prime Minister is actually speaking at a rally in which he's hitting back on this, and he's claiming that it is the Congress that is spreading misinformation on the Citizenship Act, that the Congress is spreading lies, that they are instigating Muslims, and students must understand that urban Naxals are using them. So the Prime Minister using this phrase that is used very often by many to refer to the liberals as urban Naxals. So the Prime Minister is claiming that students should understand that urban Naxals are using them. Some people cannot see beyond their hate for Modi. The Congress is spreading lies, and their lies will not be believed. He's saying the Congress is stoking fear over the CAA, and that it will not, citizens won't lose rights. That's what the Prime Minister is saying. Now remember, the reason that there has been a lot of worry among the Muslim community is because earlier you have had Amit Shah saying during campaigning that understand the chronology. First you bring CAB, that's the Citizenship Amendment Bill, and then you bring the NRC, and then he's talked about weeding out termites, infiltrators. This is a language that has been used in the past. So obviously there is a certain amount of insecurity, and of course on the other hand there are citizens groups and various other organizations that have actually petitioned in the Supreme Court against the CAA, saying that it is a law that for the first time discriminates on the basis of religion, which goes against the Constitution. So that's another argument altogether. And of course the fear of the NRC. So a lot of reactions have been coming in. Let's just take a look at what the students and all have also been saying. As we said, the big controversy is regarding whether there were any shots fired, and there are 3 people that NDTV has identified who do have injuries. However, one of them, it emerges, is not a bullet injury. It was written on the hospital form bullet injury because he claimed that he had been shot, but it seems that some unidentified material that is in his body, so that they're going to be sending that to forensics, though there are 2 others who claim that they were shot during the entire protest. In fact, they're not even students of Jamia, one of them. So the protests, however, the Jamia protesters have bullet wounds. That's what one of the doctors has said in Safdarjung as well. There has been some of the students have been taken there. 2 of them are at Safdarjung Hospital, 1 at the Holy Family Hospital. The Holy Family has given out a statement that it wasn't a bullet injury, that it was some foreign object that was in the person's body. So they're still having to figure that out. The police have absolutely denied using any guns, though then they changed their track. They said that we used rubber bullets, then they claimed it could be pellet, then they claimed it could be shrapnel from tear gas shells. So this is a story that we still have to get to the bottom of. But reacting to these reports, you have Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray. He has come out and said that by this crackdown that has taken place on students, I'm reminded of Jallianwala Bagh. So that is a bit of a shocking statement to make, of course, because we all know how, deeply emotional and shocking Jallianwala Bagh was for everybody, how it turned the whole movement for independence and, talking about oppression by the British. So he is not referring to the police crackdown on students as reminded of Jallianwala Bagh firing. He says youth power is a bomb, don't ignite it. So Uddhav Thackeray has reacted there. Mamata Banerjee has taken out another rally today, and she again has said that there will be it's against the Citizenship Amendment Act as well as the National Register of Citizens. And she says country is burning, and they talk about clothes. This is a dig at the Prime Minister's statement, where at a rally in Jharkhand he said that those indulging in the violence, you can identify them by their clothes. And this is a statement that has been called out by many as very shocking, questioning the Prime Minister as to who is he talking about, who is he indicating when he said you can identify them by their clothes. So Mamata Banerjee there taking up that issue and saying that the whole country is burning, and they're talking about clothes you are wearing. Can you tell who I am from seeing me and what I am wearing? So Mamata Banerjee not losing that opportunity to take a dig at the Prime Minister, and she's taken out another rally against the Citizenship Amendment Act and the NRC. She's among one of the 3 chief ministers who've said they will not be implementing these measures in their state. So that's what Mamata Banerjee said today. Today, Kamal Hassan also came out and addressed the media over this entire issue. He said state terrorism in Delhi, Assam and Aligarh. Kamal Hassan on the crackdown. So Kamal Hassan also hitting out over this. In fact, he has claimed that it is because of the economy and the crisis among farmers, and this is just diversionary tactics. He says, what is the reason to bring in a law like this at this time? He's also raised the issue about the Tamils of Sri Lanka and any immigrants or illegal immigrants who may have come in from there, and why are they being left out of this entire process of granting citizenship if it is about minorities in neighboring countries? And what about the Tamils who've come from Sri Lanka, and why aren't they being granted any citizenship? He also says he's hit out at the AIADMK, the ruling party in Tamil Nadu, for actually supporting this bill, and he calls it a betrayal of Tamil Nadu and a betrayal of the Tamil people. And he says that every blow on a student is a blow on the freedom of expression given by democracy. It is a blow made out of fear of getting caught with no answer. So as you can see, everybody raising this issue of the crackdown on students, and there are a series of protests that are planned for today as well in various universities across the country. And you have other colleges also writing in solidarity with the students of Jamia and AMU as well. AMU is the other college where we've seen violent suppression. Harvard students back Jamia Aligarh Muslim University protest, and they have written in this open letter that protests are inconvenient and disruptive, but they sustain the secular and democratic fabric of our nation. And they talk about the violent suppression of protesters by police, the use of tear gas, lathi charges, physical assault in response to a peaceful dissent, and the police forces forceful entry into the university. That's been another very problematic issue about them going into the campus, that their forceful entry into university campus and consequent internet blockades there are all deeply reprehensible. So there you have Harvard students and various students from universities in the US also writing in solidarity with the students of Jamia and AMU and DU as well, who have been facing police action. Well, that's all the time we have for you today. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.